Getting Namibia's farmers on board a large conservation project has been one of the challenges for the AfriCat Foundation. Clive leaned out of the Land Rover's door and raised his antenna, rotating it in a semicircle. We listened hard. The receiver hissed. "Nothing," he said. "Just white noise." We made off again down the track for a couple of kilometers, past thick clumps of bush and thorn, to pause once more. And this time we clearly heard the signal, a steady beep that announced our quarry, a radio-collared cheetah, was near. Mo, our cheetah, was on the move, but we eventually caught up with him dawdling in the long grass. He had last hunted a few days ago and was now contemplating another meal. Just 7 meters away, I could sense his dismissive demeanor. So we left him to it, trotting away into the seemingly infinite veldt of central Namibia, and headed back to our villa. Donna Hansen, one of the owners, explained the big cat's plight in Namibia. Much of this arid country is given over to livestock and game farms. Cattle in particular require vast tracts of land, and it's a generous farmer who shares his thin pastures with much game. Hansen herself has a farming background. Her parents moved here in 1970 and struggled to run a reliable cattle farm. With its rocky hills and escarpments parceling huge tracts of land threaded by seasonal streams and rivers, their land is as ruggedly beautiful as its soil is poor. Their herds never thrived. For a while, they even encouraged commercial hunting instead. AfriCat and Okanjima's evolution as a luxury wilderness lodge in the early 1990s changed all that. Since July 1993, 868 cheetahs and leopards have been rescued, 86% of which were released into the wild. The guiding principle is this: relocating and releasing a cheetah back into the wild is the only route to conservation. Even if it survives just a few years, that may be long enough for a cheetah to rear cubs and secure another generation. This ambitious project began in 2000 with the support of the Tusk Trust. Here, in a 10,000-acre enclosure now restocked with the game, young cheetahs are honing their hunting skills in preparation for the final release. They are fed just enough not to starve but are largely forced to fend for themselves. Generally, 3 months seems sufficient to sharpen their hunting instinct. Old habits die hard, though. Once the hunks of donkey meat had been given out, each animal scampered off with its own ration to consume it alone and fast, for in the wild scavengers often help themselves to cheetah kills before they've even had a chance to tuck in.